Hi, I'm Todd Henderson. Today we're going to install the UnderCover Ultra Flex on this 2017 Ford Raptor. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, first we're going to start with mounting our passenger side rail. The driver's side rail is going to install the exact same way, so you're going to repeat the same process on the opposite side. First we've got our prop rod that faces to the inside of the bed, and then also a drain spout. That drain spout is going to go towards the bed cap. What we're going to do is we're going to lift that up. You actually got a flange that's going to hang on top of the bed cap. We're going to hang that flange on the bed cap and then slide it all the way up to the bulkhead. Here we are. I'm going to start at the center clamp location. I've got my clamp now. The prop rod's going to be in the way, so I'm going to go ahead and lift that, rotate it out of the way. Now, when we have the clamp assembly here, what I want to do is I want to make sure the back side of the bolt is not coming out of the back side of the clamp at all. So I'm going to go ahead and back that out where that bolt is somewhat flush to the clamp. And also on this application, what we're going to do is we're going to use the lower notch location where our clamp pivots. Now, on the rail where we install the clamp, on the inside of that rail, we're going to have a little plastic piece that says clamp. That gives you a location to install it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take, we're going to kind of hook it around this way and rotate it to the back side of the bed cap. Hold the two pieces together. And then tighten the bolt with your fingers first. Get it kind of snug, and then use a 1/2 inch wrench or ratchet, and then tighten it down. Now, you don't need to over tighten it, just get it nice and snug. Next, we're going to move to the front clamp. Front clamp location, we're going to find the exact same way. You got the clamp spacer block that's inside the rail. We're going to loosen up the bolt to where it's flush to the back of the clamp. We're going to use the bottom notch on the clamp and then bring it together, tighten it up hand tight, make sure that it's seated to the top of the bed cap, not lifted up off of the bed cap, and then tighten it up with a 1/2 inch. Now we're going to do the last clamp the exact same way. When we find the clamp block, up underneath the bed cap there is a little bit of an obstruction, so we can't go right in the center of the clamp block. I'm actually going to move it to the back side of the clamp block. Set it in there, hold it in place, and again, tighten it using that bottom notch on the clamp. Again, we want to make sure that the top of the rail is down to the top of the bed cap. Now, there's a number of ways to install your drain tube. It has to come from the drain cup and exit water out of the bed. Some people will attach it to the drain cup, run it through your tie-down cleat, then pop a little hole in your kick out and run it out the bed like that. My preferred way of doing this is I'll take the drain tube and actually cut it in half. I'll take 1/2 and I'll shove it through this little hole here. And the other side I'm going to go ahead and fit over top of the drain cup. Now for the bulkhead seal, what we're going to do is first wipe down your bulkhead with alcohol to get any kind of contaminants off of the paint. Then we're going to take our bulkhead seal, we're going to peel that loose. We're going to go from one edge all the way up to the bed cap, all the way to the other side. And again, we just want to make sure this bulkhead seal is as close to the inside of the bed as possible. When we get it to the other side, we're going to go ahead and cut it in place. All right, now this is how I just pulled the cover out of the box. When you pull it apart, you're going to see you got a short piece that's folded in. It's got a couple of foam blocks on it. This is the side that actually faces the bulkhead. I'm not going to pull off those foam blocks just yet because I don't want to have any damage happen to the cover while I'm installing it. So I'm going to lift it up and set it on top of the rails. All right, I'm going to go ahead and lay it onto the rails. Now you might hear it click. That's essentially the slam latches locking into the rails. Now I'm going to lift this up and fold this forward. Now I'm not quite far enough to the bulkhead yet, but this is a good time to go ahead and pull off of my foam blocks. Now with it lifted up, I'm going to slide it up to the bulkhead. I want this seal to sit right over top of the foam seal that I installed onto the bulkhead. And then with my knees, I'm just going to kind of force it forward while I bear down with it. That way it doesn't go over top the bulkhead. The frame of the cover is actually touching the bulkhead, and this is sitting on top of the seal. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and fold the cover back towards the tailgate. As I do, at each panel that I fold down, I'm going to make sure it's centered in the rails. And then once I have it set at the tailgate, I'm going to go ahead and check, make sure that everything is catching on both sides, and also that the tailgate can close. Now that everything is all centered on the cover, everything is nicely aligned, I'm going to go ahead and gently pull each lever to release the latches from the rails and fold it up towards the bulkhead. I'm going to be very careful not to allow the cover to shift around at all while I'm folding it up. All right, now in order to install our front clamps, we need to first insert our carriage bolts into the head rail. Now what we're going to do is take that carriage bolt, slide it into place like so, and then just kind of bring it in to where it's going to be able to hang down into the bed of the truck. We got to do that on both sides. So I'm going to take the last panel, fold it up gently towards the cab. I'm going to lock it into place. Now I can go underneath and set my front clamps. All right, so here's the carriage bolt we just installed. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this clamp bracket. You got a little notch that's here and a hole here. We're going to actually lift that up where the notch goes into the same channel the bolt is sliding back and forth through. We need to bring this over to where it cups the bottom side of the rail. Next, what we're going to do is use a flat washer and lock washer to go over top of that. And then we got a star knob that we're going to thread onto the bolt. We're going to hold that in place up against the rail and then tighten it down. Do that on both sides. Now we're going to go ahead and test the operation of the cover. In order to do that, we have to release the prop rods. On the prop rod, we've got a little red lever. All we do is hold on to the prop rod, push that red lever to the side with our thumb, and it'll pull right off the ball stud. We're going to hang it right into the hanger bracket, and then fold the panels one at a time back towards the tailgate. Well, that concludes the installation. If you have any questions, call the experts. We're here to help you out.